Hello everybody, Don Rolfe here, and I'm going to be talking today about whether or not, or the reasons that we choose to either put together a joint revocable living trust or individual living trusts for clients. Again, I am Don Rolfe, the owner and founder of Northwest Legal Planning, an estate planning and probate law firm located in West Linn, Oregon. So when are we going to be choosing a joint revocable living trust or an individual revocable living trust? The only time we ever get to this is if our clients are going to be putting together a trust-based plan. And when they decide to do a trust-based plan based upon whatever reasons it is that they want to do that, whether it's avoiding probate, making sure they're maximizing their ability to lower estate taxes, any of those reasons. Once we determine that we're going to do a trust-based plan, we have to determine if they're a married couple, if they're going to have individual or a joint trust. So a joint trust, we only do that for married couples. We will not do a joint trust for lifetime partners or friends, brothers and sisters together, those sorts of things. Joint trusts are for married individuals. And generally we are going to do a joint trust for people who have been married for a long time. It's their first marriage. Basically all of the assets that they own are joint anyway. They don't have a lot of separate property, and there is pretty much zero potential for that union or that marriage dissolving in the future. Now, if it does dissolve in the future, a joint trust can be undone and property can be separated out. But generally those are the criteria that we're looking for, and also that they have the same types of goals in mind, the same distribution structure, and those sorts of things. Obviously, they can be different within a joint trust. Each of them could name different personal representatives and successor trustees and have different beneficiaries for their separate property and those sorts of things. But generally, the more in line a married couple is, the more often we're going to do joint trusts. By the way, if you have any questions about this or any other estate planning topic, do feel free to reach out to me and schedule a half-hour complimentary estate planning strategy session by going to myestateplanmeeting.com. It's absolutely free, and we can meet on the phone or in person. Now, with that out of the way, moving on to individual trusts. We are going to do individual trusts for single people. We're going to do individual trusts oftentimes for second, third, fourth marriages. And blended families. And the reason we do that is there's oftentimes a great disparity in where the income came from. There are yours, mine, and ours children, and there may be different distribution patterns among those children from the separate property of each of those spouses. And it's also for unmarried individuals. Now, for those remarried individuals with the multiple children from multiple parentages, husband may have 2 children from a previous union, and wife may have 2 children from a previous union, and then they may have a child together. And husband may want to split his, three ways among, his 2 prior children, and then the joint child, and the same for wife. And it's just easier to accomplish that by doing separate trusts. And then in the circumstance where you're not married, we just don't do joint trusts for non-married individuals. It's not something that is something we do. It just doesn't happen. So the criteria that we're looking at when we're determining whether or not we're going to be doing a joint revocable living trust or an individual revocable living trust. Number 1 is, are you married? Is it a long-time marriage? Is it a first-time marriage? Are all of the assets held jointly anyway? Not a lot of separate property, and a pretty consistent or the same distribution pattern for your assets for each the husband and wife, or wife and wife, or husband and husband, whatever it happens to be. And if that's the case, then we're probably going to do a joint trust. Now, if we're looking at a blended family, second, third, fourth marriages, or non-married individuals, then that's when we're going to be doing individual revocable living trusts. Again, if you have any questions about this or want to find out more, then you can schedule a complimentary 30-minute estate planning strategy session with me by going to myestateplanmeeting.com. You can get your questions answered, and I will discuss with you your estate planning options. So again, determining whether or not you are going to be getting a joint or an individual revocable living trust really depends on marital status, number of marriages, how many children, and whether those are yours, mine, and ours, or then again also, whether or not there's disparity in the distribution pattern that you're going to be having. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.